Good evening. Leading our news tonight, questions have been raised as to what happened to the alleged marijuana package brought into the Legislative Assembly chambers in the last meeting by Honourable Terry Koh. Common Roll member Crosley Tatui during question time at the Fono Ekepule yesterday asked for an update. In response, Minister Poko Sipeli said that Honourable Koh had forgotten the bag of pot in the chambers. He returned to look for it after the meeting, but the staff members had already cleaned out the chambers and everything considered rubbish was taken out and burned, apparently including the package of pot. Following the last meeting, Honourable Terry Koh, in an interview with TV News, said a male tourist and a possible consultant had given the drugs to him. While Koh acknowledged the proper procedure is to report and present the drugs directly to the police, he says he simply wanted to make a big statement as he's concerned about the potential increase of marijuana and potential gateways for other drugs such as methamphetamine, calling for more action against illegal drug use on the island. The Chief of Police, Tony Edwards, had confirmed to TV News that no report was filed to the department regarding drugs and that the news of it when presented at the Assembly meeting prior was new to him. Edwards had said it does raise concern that politicians are aware of this and are not reporting this to police, adding if there is something that anyone would have any knowledge of drugs being in Niue, they must report this to the police. Meanwhile, the Misuse of Drugs Amendment Bill has been passed in Parliament. 13 MPs voted in favour, while 3 voted against it yesterday. State-owned enterprises have improved financially this quarter. However, the SOEs are behind with their annual accounts and are currently working on the 2016 annual accounts. This is according to the Acting Premier, Billy Talangi, in response to Honourable Terry Koh, who asked in the Assembly yesterday what is the current financial position of the government and state-owned enterprises accounts. Acting Premier Billy Talangi added it's expected that with additional resources, they will be able to bring their accounts up to date by December 2019. Honourable Terry Koh responded they'll be awaiting the results. And Acting Premier Billy Talangi has confirmed the formation and composition of a newly formed government committee during the Fono Ekepule question time yesterday. This committee is the Project Oversight Steering Committee, which was endorsed by Cabinet to provide oversight of all government projects for the better coordination of these major government projects. This committee, also known as POST, comprising of the Acting Secretary to Government, all Director Generals and the heads of all central agencies. They meet twice a month advising, making recommendations to Cabinet. Will Dr. Colin Tukitonga be contesting next year's election? Following Dr. Colin Tukitonga's recent attendance at the Niue Language Forum and the Taonga Arts and Culture Festival, there's been speculation on the island he'll be contesting in the next general election. Dr. Colin Tukitonga has confirmed to TV News he will not be contesting next year's election. While appreciative of the support and confidence expressed by the locals, he says he is not able to contest the elections due to the law, which requires those contesting to be residing in Niue throughout the period of 12 months before the general election. He was referring to the Niue Assembly Act 1966. However, Dr. Tukitonga says he will be considering future elections. Dr. Tukitonga says he is optimistic Niue has great candidates for next year's election, adding he's expressed he is more than happy to support Niue in other ways, such as the medical conference he'll be helping to host here in Niue from the 25th to the 27th of September this year. Meanwhile, the date for next year's elections is yet to be announced. Applications for the 2019 business development grants are now open. Niue Chamber of Commerce states the business development funding comes from the New Zealand government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade as part of the annual funding for the Niue Chamber of Commerce. The primary objective of the Business Development Fund is to support the private sector in increasing its contribution to the Niuean economy. There are 4 grant categories for business, from market stall holders to companies gearing up for export or major expansion or diversification. The business development grants range from $1,000 to $10,000. It is anticipated that the majority of grant applications will be for the business assistance grants up to $4,000. For grants over $1,000, applicants will need to supply a business plan along with their application and codes for items they may be applying for. Ray Finlay, Business Development Manager and CEO of the Niue Chamber of Commerce, says this is a great opportunity for businesses to seek assistance to support their business sustainability, innovation and growth. Adding, the Chamber has endeavoured to make the application process as clear and streamlined as possible for the applicants and also ensure fairness and transparency in the grants review process. Applications for the first round of business development grants close on 28 June 2019. There will be 2 further rounds closing on 30th August 2019 and 31st October 2019. The Monitory cabling system is well on track with topographical surveying underway in Niue waters. Telecom CEO Brett Collier has said that the survey boat has at least 30 people on board engaged in survey activities contracted under Subcom, a U.S. specialist submarine cable contractor.
Collier says terrestrial works referring to the cable landing station and works on the sea track and the Taketa roads for armouring of the cables are expected to be completed in September. The contract secured for the cable landing station has been awarded to DXN, an Australian company, with the sea track works assigned to DTB. Collier informed both contractors secured these contracts under expressions of interest advertised this year and last year by Monitory. DXN in Australia is currently building a modular which is in its final design for fabrication for shipping to Niue. This will form the cable landing station. Project manager Bruce McLean revealed the next ship will carry the 3,500 kilometres worth of cable, which is expected to be laid here in Niue in November, with clearings from surveyors following this survey. The survey will determine obstacles such as seamounts, submarine volcanoes and trenches. Mr. McLean says that terrestrial works to be completed in September includes the cable landing station and the sea track works. The current survey is a physical one to determine evidence of any debris that would hinder the laying of the cables in the delineated areas. The laying of the cables is expected to start by November this year, but will await the results from the survey before confirming dates. The multi-million-dollar Monitory cabling project spans from Tahiti, Samoa, Cook Islands and to Niue. According to the project manager, Bruce McLean, testing of the system is set for January to February of next year, with installations to be completed by the middle of the year. He said it will not go live until all cables have been laid in each of the respective countries. This is Esther Pavihi for BCN News.
Of the 29 applications received by the University of the South Pacific for the Masters in Business Administration program, 23 students will commence the course next week. The lecturer, Dr. Sunia Wasikata from Lavala campus in Suva, will arrive this Friday to teach the first 2 courses of the program. According to the director of USP Niue campus, Seonelo Lesio, orientation for the MBA students will start on Monday next week from 4 to 6 p.m. USP Niue has already started taking in enrollments for the new semester. And finally, engineering seems to be the favorite course for students applying for the New Zealand Scholarship Program. According to the Secretariat of the Public Service Commission, the applications for the New Zealand scholarships have closed and a total of 12 applications were received. Of these 12, 11 applicants were for the field of engineering. There were no applicants for teaching course or to become teachers. The successful applicants will begin studies in New Zealand universities next year. And that's BCN News for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.